How many kids do you have now?
3. I have the oldest one is 25. I have a 20-year-old and I have a 6-year-old, and but the 6-year-old is adopted.
Okay. And as a autistic parent, have you
Parent,
encountered anyone who said that maybe you're unfit to be a mother or raise a family?
yeah. So that was the concern with my oldest daughter, and so it was a fight to be able to um, parent her, and to to have the privilege of being a parent. Even though I was a minor, it's not like other neurotypical minors that that doesn't happen to them. So um, yeah, that was it's come up quite frequently. So
Hmm.
um, adoption, and I adopted her 6 years ago. Uh, for home studies, you have to pass a medical, and the medical includes going through any diagnoses that you have. And because of autism, and everybody who is autistic is not just autistic. Like it's a whole bunch of other things too. So it would probably appear on paper that I was unstable because of that to the neurotypical eye. So there was a fight for that. So down from biological to adoption is like it's a fight.
Hmm.
I actually ran away so I could keep my daughter.
Mm.
So that's really the only reason that I was able to keep her. I got on a Greyhound bus and I went to New York, and
Wow.
I stayed away from my parents for like 5 years. So
So you raised her by yourself?
I met somebody, my husband, who I'm married to now.
Uh-huh.
He adopted her when she was 2. So, and he's neurotypical. So I met somebody, and he helped me, from the age of 2. But before 2, I was by myself.
Wow. What was that like for you?
Um, it's just really difficult. When I went to New York, I had kind of, back in the day, I know you're probably young, but there was like a TV show called Montel Williams,
I know
and I
Montel.
watched this. I watched a story of somebody who said they had drug addicted parents and they ran away from home, and they went to the shelter in New York. And so I used their story when I got to New York, and I didn't tell them that I had parents. I told them that my parents were drug addicts, which was totally untrue.
Uh-huh.
So, so my parents were looking for me in Chicago, but I had decided that I needed to become somebody else in order to keep my child. So I got on the Greyhound. They had a buy one get one free ticket, and I went to New York. And it was kind of like I was at what do they call it? When you're like playing it as you go. I was just I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I couldn't be me and keep my child. So I just kind of, was very mysterious. Nobody knew a whole lot about me. They just knew I came from Chicago, and I got a lot of help. And I came from a very affluent home, so I probably had a lot of learned helplessness because I had access to so many resources being autistic. But once I got there, I automatically became another social economic status because I'm a poor teenager with a child, that doesn't have access to my parents' money. And
Yeah.
so it became a whole different like dynamic. I didn't have a high school diploma because I was certificate track. So I didn't have I didn't have really anything to kind of fall back on, which is just why I fight for autistic people to try to get diplomas when they can.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So meanwhile, your parents were looking for you. Were they trying to convince you to come back home and say
I
that
never
they
talked
would
to them.
support? Okay.
I didn't talk to them for 5 years because I knew that they would have guardianship with me, of me, if I went back. Because autistic adults, your parents can get guardianship of you
Mm-hmm.
if they don't think that you're capable of living on your own. And that was a discussion that
Right.
I was That was a discussion that I was overhearing a lot about me. And so I knew that I had to wait until I was at least 21 before I made any contact with them, because I knew I would not have my own life, and I didn't want that. So it was a struggle because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know a lot about the world because I had been so sheltered. And I went from being somebody whose parents are very, very affluent to living in a homeless shelter
Mhm.
with a baby.
Yeah.
So what I do take on that is, like I said, I believe I had a lot of learned helplessness because my parents did have resources. But when I had to do it, I had to do it. So being put in that different socioeconomic group made me not have the option of having the same options that I had. Because I didn't have, you can't go to a home. You can't. I needed to learn how to take care of myself.
Mhm.
So I've experienced both sides of being rich and being poor and what it's like being disabled.
Mhm.
You don't have that luxury of saying, "Oh, she'll be taken care of," because that's what my parents always said. I couldn't be taken care of because I had to take care of myself. And
And a
so
new
people just,
baby also, so you were
yeah.
learning to take care of yourself and another human. You've been watching Autism Knows No Borders. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know what you think in the comments section. Click here to watch this interview in its entirety. You can also find us on your favorite podcast app. Tune in each week for engaging conversations of how people across the globe are inspiring change and building community. Thanks for watching. Take care.